Jai Hind to all of you. My dear student, once again I Bipin sir, PGT English of SRPS, welcome you to the online classes of English literature. As we know, the present situation of our nation is very pathetic as COVID-19 virus has affected more than 13,000 people all around India. So, looking into this pathetic situation, our management team and teaching team had decided to deliver online classes for the student. But before starting today's class, I would like to request you all to please subscribe my channel, like my video and share as much as possible. So should you get regular updates of your syllabus, of your chapters, of your classes. In this way, you would not be missing a single chapter. So here I am with my class. Today I am going to deliver the class of 11. So my dear student, in this class of 11th, I will start today poetry number 1, a photograph, and it is from your book Hornbill. Before I start the class, I would be requesting you all to open your Hornbill book and open a photograph poem. It is poetry number 1. So let us start the class of today without any delay. So first of all, we will come up to about the composer. So the composer of the poem is Shirley Towson. Shirley Towson is the composer of the poem A Photograph. A photograph is a very beautiful poem. I will explain you afterwards what happens in the photograph. But first of all, we should know about the composer. This will not come in your examination, but this is for your knowledge. So let us start for about the composer. Shirley Towson. Shirley Towson, born on May 20, 1924 in Henley-on-Thames, England, was the daughter of Douglas Horsfall Dixon and Marjorie Brown. Shirley Towson was born on May 20. She was born on 20 May 1924. She was born on 20 May in the year 1924 in Henley-on-Thames, which is in England. She was daughter, means her father's name was Douglas Horsfall and Dixon, and her mother name was Marjorie Brown. So she was passionate about creative writing and was greatly influenced by her father, who was a writer as well. She was very much passionate. She was enthusiastic for about creative writing, about writing stories, poetry, about creative writing. She was very much enthusiastic about writing, and she was influenced for the writing by her father, who was also a writer. She from Brockenhurst College in London in year 1953, securing a BA in literature. This was followed by Towson's desire to take up writing as a career. Here this slide means that she was graduated from the college in London, and the name of the college was Brockenhurst in 1953. There she secured BA degree in literature, and this degree followed by her for this degree developed a desire in her for making a writing as a career. Also she served as the editor for many She also worked as an editor for many of the magazines. As you know, magazines are a book which is magazines are the book which is being magazines are reading books. So she served as an editor for many of the magazines. She married to Alan Brown John on 6th February 1960 and had 3 children: Janet Sayers, Ian Townsend and Stephen Brown John. Afterwards, she married to Alan Brown John. Her husband name was Alan Brown John. And when did she married? She married on 6th February 1960. She gave birth to 3 children. Name of all the children were Janet Sayers, Ian Townsend and Stephen Brown John. What happened later? However, they got divorced on March 1969. After having 3 children, when she got married in 1960, after having 3 children, she also got divorced in March 1969. Means after 9 years of her marriage she get divorced. So it was her married life which I had explained you. Now I am coming to the her awards and what was her achievements, what were her achievement. She was greatly influenced by Celtic Christianity, which is reflected in the most of her major works like Celtic Alternative in 1987 and Celtic Year in 1993, and these works added to her fame as a reputed writer. My dear students, here I want to clear you all Celtic Christianity. There are two type of Christianity present in our whole world. One is Protestant Christian, another one is Roman Catholic Christian. So Celtic Christians come under the Roman Catholic Christian. This was occurring at the time of Renaissance, which is in the literature it has been described. So I am not having time to describe about Renaissance, but I will just give you the point. So she was greatly influenced towards the Roman Catholic Christianity, and for that reason only she included a major work. She created major works like Celtic Alternative in 1987 and Celtic Year in 1993. In this both of the writings she have mentioned about the outcome of Roman Catholic Christian, how they have came, and these works only added a fame for her as a reputed writer. Means in this way she become a reputed writer. Here is a photo, here is a pic of Shirley Towson. She after in her old age how she was looking. So I hope all of you would have understood about Shirley Towson, and let us come to the chapter. What is the chapter? A photograph. A photograph, introduction of a lesson. So let us have an introduction of a lesson. What is in the lesson? A poem. The poem A Photograph is written by Shirley Towson. This poem, A Photograph, is written by, composed by Shirley Towson. Shirley Towson has composed this poem. In this poem, she recalls her mother and her memories while looking at a childhood photograph when her mother was 12 years old or so. In this poem, she reminds of her mother, she recalls her mother, she remembers her mother, she recalls the memories of her mother when she was looking at the photograph, at the childhood photograph of mother when her mother was near about 12 years old. Near about 12 years old. She has been deceived 12 years ago, and she cannot explain her grief on her mother's loss. And near about 12 years have been also passed when her mother has died. Her mother has died and 12 years has now passed. So she is feeling very much grief about that, and she is unable to explain the grief of her mother's loss. So these are included in the poem which I am going to explain you. It is very beautiful poem. This poem is full of emotion. You can see the pic. This was the pic which Shirley Towson was seeing. She is her mother. The middle one girl is her mother. These two girls are the cousins of her mother. So in this poem, she is remembering about her mother, and she cannot explain also the grief of her mother loss. So let us come to the poem. Line 1 to 4. First of all, I will explain you the line 1 to 4. What is the line 1 to 4? The cardboard shows me how it was. Here, the meaning of a cardboard is a photograph. This photograph which was hung on the wall when writer Shirley Towson, when composer saw this photograph which was hung on the wall, when she saw this, she saw and she says to her that she reminds when she saw this photograph, this piece of photograph, this cardboard is represented as a photograph. When she saw this, she reminds of her mother, and by this cardboard, the cardboard shows. But in this lines means that in this line, when poet is looking to the old photograph album which is made up of cardboard, in the picture what happened when the two girls cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hand, and she the big girl some 12 years or so. Here the meaning of paddling is walking. The meaning of paddling is walking. So what happens here in these lines, the poet is looking to an old photo album which is made up of cardboard. Okay, so first of all, when the composer saw that cardboard, that piece of cardboard, that old photo album which was made up of cardboard, What did she saw in that photograph? In that photograph, she saw when the two girls cousins went paddling. In that pictures, that she saw that there are three girls who are walking on the beach holding each other's hand. What did she saw? When the two girls cousin went paddling. Two girls cousin means two. One was her mother and two were the cousin. One cousin, two cousin, and one was her mother itself. So when all they three were walking and moving, each one holding one of my mother's hand. What were they doing? They were holding each other's hand, and the girl in the middle, and see the big girl some 12 years or so, and girl in the middle is the tallest and the oldest. The other two girls on each side are younger than her. Okay, it is clear that other two girls who were there, they were younger than her. The girl in the middle is the poet's mother. The girl in the middle is the poet's mother. She is around 12 years old when the picture was taken. When this picture was taken on the on the beach, all the three girls were walking. Here paddling means walking. They all three were walking, and they were holding each other's hand. And in the middle there was the poet's mother, and she was the tallest one. She was near about 12 years when this photograph was taken, and this side both they were the cousins of her mother, and they were holding the hand of her mother. So this scenario reminds the composer about her mother. When she comes to know about her mother, how her mother was looking, and how was it the time, how it was when all they three went to spend their sea holidays, spend their summer holidays, spend their vacations. So about these lines, what these lines represents us, that when composer saw that piece of cardboard on which photograph was made, she saw that the two girl cousins were walking. Each one were holding one of my mother's hands, means each one of them were holding each other's hand, and in the middle of them there were two cousins, and one was three girls. There were total number of girls were three, and in the middle there was the composer's mother. And the middle girl, whoever she was the mother of composer. You have to pay attention. And she was the tallest one, and she was the elder one. And she the big girl, some 12 years or so, means the middle girl was the mother of the composer, and she was the tallest one, she was the elder one, and she was near about 12 years ago when this photograph 12 years when this photograph was taken. And both the girls who were holding on the side who were holding the hands on each side of her mother, they were younger than her mother. So in this way we have completed 1 to 4 line. Once again I will remind you the line. So here the author says the piece of cardboard. Here the author says that the piece of cardboard shows her how it was. The piece of cardboard, the photograph shows composer that how it was when the both of the cousins went walking towards the sea beach to spend their vacation, to spend their summer holiday, to spend their sea holidays. Each one of them were holding one of my mother's hand. Each one of them were holding each other's hand, and in the middle was the composer's mother. On both the side, the both cousins were holding the hand of her mother. And see the big girl, and the girl who was in the middle was composer's mother, and she was the tallest one, she was the elder one, and she was near about 12 years when the photograph was taken. So it means in this line, from this line, the composer want to explain she was sitting inside her room, and in her room when she saw the photograph hanged on the wall, she paid attention on to that photograph, and she found that all the three girls who were gone to spend their summer holidays, who were gone to spend their sea holidays, who were gone to spend their vacations on the sea beach, They all three were walking, holding each other's hand, and the girl standing in the middle standing in the middle was composer's mother. She was the elder girl, and she was near about 12 years when the photograph was taken. So, my dear students, this line is the explanation of this line I hope is completed. Now, coming to the next lines 5 to 9. All three stood all three stood to smile through their hair. All of them. So all three stood still to smile through their hair. Here still means as it is. As it is. What happened? All of them three, all those three girls stood. All those three girls stood still, and they were smiling through their wet hair. Means their hairs were wet, and they stopped and they were smiling. Where they all the three girls were stopped and were smiling, and their hair were opened. Their hair was open, and their hair was wet also at the uncles. And where they were smiling? At the uncle with the camera. They were smiling at the camera. They were looking into the camera, and there was a smile on their face, and the camera was being bought by their uncle. The camera was being brought by their uncle to take the snaps, to take the pics, to take the photos, which we say, to take the selfie. A sweet face. And what does that camera captured? That camera captured a sweet face, a smiling face, a beautiful face, a young face of my mother's, of author's mother, of composer's mother. That camera captured a sweet face of composer's mother. That was before I was born. And when the face was sweet, and the face which was captured, it was before when composer was born. When composer was born, before that her face was captured in that photograph, in the camera of the uncle, which was brought by the uncle. And the sea which appears to have changeless, and the sea which is in the background of that photograph, it appears to be have changeless, means it have not changed, very less. There no change have occurred, no change is to be seen. The sea is now also as it is. It is same when it as it was earlier. There it have not changed. Was there terribly transient feast? Transient meaning means short term, temporary. So the waves of the sea were washing their weak feet, their weak and temporary feet. So here by this line, in the above lines, the poet describes how the photograph was taken. In the above lines means all this line describes about how the photograph was taken, in which scenario the photograph was taken. Her mother's uncle took a photograph and told them to stop and pose. Her mother's uncle said them to stood there, to stop there, and to give the pose, to take, because he was going to take a photograph. All three of them left their wet hair open and smiled at the camera. All the three girls, they left their hair open, which was wet, and they were smiling at the camera. The poet's attention is drawn towards her mother face, which is described as a sweet face. And by this way, the photograph, when the photograph was captured, when it was hanged in the room of the composer, on that, when poet was seeing that photograph, her attention was drawn towards her mother face, and she described her mother face as a sweet face. Okay, the photograph was taken long before the poet was born, and this photograph, whichever the photograph it was, this photograph was taken it was taken long ago before where the author was before the poet was born. The poet caused their feet terrible transient as they were so young by then and now they had grown older. And why the poet calls it terribly transient feet? Because when the photograph was taken at that time, her mother and both the cousins, all three girls, were very much young. They were not that much strong, and now at this time, at this moment, their feet have grown older. They had grown older. That's why at that time they were at very young age. That's why she called their feet as a terrible transient, as a terrible transient. So on the other hand, the sea which touched their feet has changed it. And on another hand, when we will see, so we will see that the sea which was in the background of the photograph, which was touching their feet, was changed very much less. It was not changed at all. So by this line, my dear student, we come to understand about the photograph, how that photograph was taken, how they were giving their pose, what happened. All of them three were standing, were standing and giving their pose. They left their hair open and wet. They were smiling at the camera of the uncle, which was being brought by the uncle of the composer's mother, by the poet's mother. And poet here, when she paid attention to the photograph, she described her mother's face as a sweet face. And it was taken this photograph was taken before long before the author, the composer, was born. And the second scenario is that the sea which was in the background of the photograph, it was appearing, it was looking as it was changed less. It was not changed at all. They were washing their terribly transient feet. Here terribly transient feet is being called by the composer because the when this photograph was taken at that time, all the three were at very young age, and they were at very young age, and they were now they were grown older. That's why she called. So my dear student, this 1 to 4 line and 5 to 6 line we have completed. 5 to 9 line we have completed both this line. So now we would be moving, and in the next class I would be explaining you line number 10 to 13, then line number 14 to 15, line number 16 to 19. Then we are having a photograph literary devices, then we are having a photograph summary. So before completing this lecture, I would like to request you all to please like and subscribe my channel, so that you could get the regular updates about the chapter. You could get the regular lectures on your basis. You would not, by this you would not be missing your any lecture. Hope you would be enjoying this lecture. And my dear student, once again, Jai Hind to all of you. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Jai Hind to all of you.